Hi guys, this is Richard Cockhill, Forest Schools Level 3, Unit 2, 1.7, building a natural shelter. Shelters are great things. It's probably what I do most with the young students when we're out and about. They love kind of that feeling of building their own place and just being in the woods, which is fantastic. I'm just going to kind of crack on, try and not make the video too long. The tools that I'm going to be using is I'm going to be using an axe because our billhook is non-operational, so we'll be using an axe today, a small pruning saw, and we've got some string. And I've got a chopping block here. Chopping block might move because, as you can see, the smoke is being blown straight into my face here, which probably isn't all that great. In fact, I'm just going to move that now, make the decision, go for it. So any chopping will do, kind of do over there. I'll be moving on and off camera to grab materials, and we're just going to make a basic kind of bivvy. What I've done so far is I've just suspended this pole between these two trees, and what I've actually used here, I did this some time ago, is I've actually used spruce roots, which I'll show you real quickly. Of course, you can never find some when you want some. Let's have a look. Usually you just dig around the bottom of a spruce tree, like so, and you can get these roots. Obviously, we don't want to do too much and harm the tree, but you can get these. They're really flexible and they're pretty strong, and you can even, if you take your time with them, you can even split them. A little bit of a technique to it, but you can turn one piece into a larger piece by splitting that and using that as a string. I'm going to reinforce this with regular string, just as a kind of safety aspect. What happens is it's very malleable when you first start, but then after a while it dries, which makes it constrict, makes it very strong, but it also makes it a little bit more brittle. So we'll be using lots of bits of string to kind of help us on our way. I'm not going to use any fancy knots or anything like that. It'll just be pretty basic stuff. I'm just going to crack on and make a nice shelter to have a lunch in, I think. So I'm going to try and work reasonably fast because I think my phone is running out of memory. I don't want to have to do all the videos again. Now, we're not aiming to make anything kind of waterproof or anything that we're going to spend the night in. It's just a very basic, something to kind of sit and have our lunch in. So nothing overly complicated. These roots have actually been here for probably over 6 months now, including a winter and a storm, so I'm feeling pretty confident that they will stay up. But better safe than sore, I reckon. Down the bottom here by my feet, I've also just laid 2 logs, which will kind of become the nice area to sit on once we've got some spare foliage and such. But we'll see as we go. Now, what I've got down here is just a series of long logs, which I'm going to place at the back here to make a roof. Get several of them, and because I think it'll be quite nice, we're also going to place some forward, and that will hopefully give us a nice enclosure to both sides as well. There we go. I think just off camera we've got loads of green boughs that we've cut. We had a lot of storm damage to the woodlands, so instead of sort of cry about it and mump and groan, we've cut some of the green boughs and we're going to use them for our shelter today. Destruction breeds creation and all that. Also want to do, once I've laid some of these out, I'll start tying them on to keep our fire going as well. And I want one just a little bit lower down, that's a bit short. A longer one, but one of the lighter ones. Oh, that looks a good one, that's very long. So we'll keep that one aside to go across here. Okay, right, we'll put that in a safe place. We'll use later on, we'll cut that to size. Well, that one might be better actually. Will that fit? That's a nice light one. Aha! And that doesn't need sorted much. Sorted a little bit. Okay, we'll swap that one out. Put that one there in safe place. We're running out of sticks now. We're definitely going to call this a temporary shelter. Just spinning that around there so it's the lighter end at the top and less weight on the end. Definitely going to call this a temporary shelter because if we use the green boughs, which will make it very warm, very homely, but what it will also do is over time the green boughs will turn brown and then they will go very dry and the needles will become very flammable, and that means that if we have a fire right next to very flammable material, I think we can all work out what's going to happen next. Not good. There we go. A couple of branches there. Doesn't need to be taking loads and loads away. Now I've got a heavier pole here that I'm just going to put towards the back. Hopefully not trip on it. And just use that as a straight edge for the post to rest against. There we go. Now if I was wanting to make this something that I was going to sleep in, I would push this right up to this edge and have a much more pitched roof so rain would fall off it. I'm not after that today. What I'm after is just something that I can sit in and have my lunch. That's the idea anyway. Okay, so then we're going to move on to using the green boughs. I'll trim them. Some of them I'll use just as big branches themselves, and some of them I'll trim up the axe. I might move the block again actually, or remove that side so I can get in. Oh, that's the smoke in my eyes. I'm going to use gloves for this one. And what we want, I don't know if you can see that through the wee bars there, is that I want the growth of the boughs to be going down the way. So if it does rain, it is raining just very slightly, it's drizzling, is that's going to start running down the way. I'm going to start roughly from the bottom and work our way up.